could not, mademoiselle.
What happened with it?
We'll discuss it later. Our faithful shadows arrive.
Victor, I don't want you going to the underground meetings tonight.
I must. Besides, there isn't always a chance a man gets to display heroics before his wife.
Don't joke. After Major Strauss's warning sign, it's frightened for you.
To tell you the truth, I too am afraid. But shall I remain here, hiding in Casablanca, or shall I try to carry on the best I can?
Whatever I'd say, you carry on. Victor, why don't you tell me what happened with Rick?
Apparently, he has the letters,
Yes?
but no intention of selling them. One would think if sentiment wouldn't persuade him, money would.
Did he give any reason?
He said to ask you.
Ask me?
Yes, he specifically said, ask your wife. I don't know why he would say that. Well, it's getting late. You ought to get back. The meeting will be in a few minutes. Ilse,
Yes?
when I was in a concentration camp, were you lonely in Paris?
Yes, Victor, I was.
I know how it is to be lonely. Is there anything you wish to tell me?
No, Victor, there isn't.
I love you very much, my dear.
Yes. Yes, I know. Victor, will you believe that I...
You don't even have to say it. I'll believe you. Good night, my dear.
Victor, be careful.
I will for you.
Well, you seem to be in pretty good shape, Eric. Well, that's good news. How long can I afford to stay closed? Oh, 2 weeks, maybe 3? Well, maybe I won't have to. A bribe's worked before. In the meantime, everybody stays on salary. Oh, thank you, Eric. Sasha will be most happy to hear that. I owe him money. Yeah, well, finish locking up, will you, Carl? Yes, sir. Then I'm going to the meeting of that. Don't tell me where you're going. Yes, Monsieur Rick. Thanks, Dad, and good night. Good night. How'd you get in?
The steps in the street.
Well, I told you this morning that you'd be around, but I have to admit, this is a little ahead of schedule. Won't you sit down?
Rick, I had to see you.
Oh, okay. Apparently we're friends again. Apparently we're back in Paris.
Please, I can understand how you feel.
Understand how I feel? That's very funny. You know, your unexpected visit isn't connected by any chance by those letters of transit now, is it? It seems as long as I have those letters, I'll never be
Rick,
lonely.
you can ask any price you want, but you must give me those letters.
I went through all that with your husband. It's no deal.
Richard, I can understand how you feel, but if you put your feelings aside for something more important.
Glad to hear again what a great man your husband is. What an important cause he's fighting for.
It was your cause, too. In your own way, you were fighting for the same thing.
Well, I'm not fighting for anything anymore. I'm the only cause I'm interested in.
One woman has hurt you, and you take revenge on the rest of the world. You're a weakling and a coward. No, Richard, I'm sorry. But if you don't help us, Victor Lasso will die in Casablanca.
And what of it? I'm going to die in Casablanca too, and you know what? It's a good spot for it. Now, if you have something that you actually like to talk about that's actually worth my...
All right, I tried to reason with you. Now, I want those letters given for me.
No, I don't have to. I have them right here.
Put them on the table.
No.
For the last time, put them on the table.
No! Glasgow and the cause me so much to you. You won't stop at anything. Here, I'll make it easier for you. Go ahead and shoot! You'll be doing me a favor!
Richard, I tried to stay away. I thought I would never see you again. I thought you were out of my life. You knew how much I loved you, how much I still love you. And then Victor returned to Czechoslovakia. They needed him in Prague, but the Gestapo were there waiting for him. Two line items in the paper. Victor Laszlo apprehended in concentration camp. I was frantic. Tried to get word for months, and then it came. I had nothing, not even hope, and then I met you.
Why weren't you honest with me? Why did you keep your marriage to Laszlo a secret?
Richard, it wasn't my secret. Victor wanted it that way. I guess it was his way of protecting me. The Gestapo would find out that I was his wife. It would be dangerous for me and those working with me.
When did you first find out he was alive?
Before you and I went to leave Paris together, a friend even told me that he was alive. They were hiding on the outskirts of Paris in a freight car. He was sick. He needed me. I wanted to tell you, but I knew you would have never left Paris. And Gestapo would have found you and well, you know the rest.
Well, it's quite a story, but still a story without an ending. What about now?
Now, I know I'm not have the strength to leave you again.
Well, all right then. Laszlo?
Richard, you'll help us. You'll see that he gets out. See that he has his work, all that he's been working for.
All except for one. He won't have you.
Richard, I can't fight it anymore. I ran away from you once, and I can't do it again. You must think for all of us. I can't think of so much of you.
All right. I will. And hey, here's looking at you.
I think we lost them.
Yes, I'm afraid they got some of the others.
Come sit down. I will get you some water.
Carl! What's going on?
The police break up our meeting, Eric. We escaped at the last minute.
Well, come up here a minute, won't you? I want you to turn out that back light. Sasha left it on. It might attract the police.
But Sasha always turns out that light.
Well, tonight he forgot.
Okay, I come.
Listen, I want you to take this one home.
Yes, yes.
Close one, huh?
Yes, rather.
Well, this should help.
Thank you, Rick.
You know, do you ever wonder if it's worth all this? I mean, what you're fighting for.
We might as well question why we breathe. If we stop breathing, we die. If we stop fighting our enemies, the world will die.
And what of it? Then it'll be out of its misery.
You know how you sound, Monsieur Blake? You sound like a man who's trying to convince himself of something in his heart that he doesn't believe. Each of us has a destiny, for good or for evil.
Yeah, I get the point.
I wonder if you truly do. I wonder if you know that you're trying to escape from yourself and that you'll never succeed.
You seem to know all about my destiny.
I know a great deal about you, more than that you suspect. I know, for instance, that you are in love with a woman. Strange, however, that we should both be in love with the same woman. The first evening I arrived here in this cafe, I sensed something between you and Ilsa. Since no one is to blame, I demand no explanation. I ask of you only one thing. You won't let me have the letters, all right. But I want my wife to be safe. I ask of you, as a favor, to use those letters of transit to take her far away from Casablanca.
You really love her that much.
Apparently, you only think of me as a human being. Well, I'm also a leader. Yes, I love her that much.
Mr. Leslie,
Yes.
will you please come with me? We have a warrant for your arrest.
On what charge?
Captain Ronaldo will discuss that with you later.
It seems that destiny has taken a hand.
We don't have all night.
Lloyd, look, I understand your point, but you haven't got any actual proof, and you know it. The worst you can do is find him a few thousand francs and give him 30 days. You might as well just let him go now.
Vicky, I would advise you not to be too interested in what happens to Lazlo. By any chance you would help him escape,
What makes you think I'd stick my neck out for Laszlo?
Because, one, you have bet me 10,000 francs that you would escape. Two, you have the letter of transit. Now do not bother trying to deny it. Three, you may do it because of the fact that you do not like the way Major Strasser looks. As a matter of fact, I don't either.
Well, they're all excellent reasons.
Vicky, do not count too much on my friendship. In this matter, I am powerless. Besides, I might lose 10,000 francs.
All right, well, you're not very subtle, but you are effective. All right, yes, I do have those letters, but I intend on using them myself. Tonight on the last plane out of Casablanca. And I'm taking a friend with me, one you'll appreciate.
What friend?
Ilsa Lund. Now that ought to put your mind at rest about me wanting to help Laszlo escape. He's the last man I want to see in America.
Vic, you did not have me come all the way here to tell me this. You have the letters of transit. You can fill in your name and hers whenever you please. Why are you so interested in what happens to Laszlo?
I'm not, but I am interested in what happens to Ilsa and me. We have a legal right to go, that's true, but people have been held in Casablanca in spite of their legal rights.
What makes you think that I would want to help you?
It's not me that I'm worried about, it's Ilsa. As you know by this point, I'm sure Ilsa is Laszlo's wife. She knows things Strasser would probably like to know. So, think of it this way, Louis. Think of it as something big. I mean, something huge that's going to chuck Laszlo in a concentration camp for years. Now, that'd be quite a feather in your cap now, wouldn't it?
Certainly would. German beaching would be grateful.
Yeah, well, then it's settled then. You come here half an hour before the plane leaves. You sit back here, you get to play hero and hold the gun. Me and Ilsa get away, you get Laszlo, the first of which will only be a minor annoyance to the Germans.
But yes, there's something about this, matter. I do not understand. Miss Lund, she is very beautiful, but you have never been interested in any sort of, woman.
Well, she's not just any woman.
I see. what makes me think that you will keep your end of the bargain?
I will go with you right now down to the jail and make the arrangements with Laszlo and the visitors back.
Vicky, I'm going to miss you. Apparently you are the only one in Casablanca who has less scruples than even I.
Oh, you flatter me. Oh, and Louis, call off your watchdogs. I don't want Laszlo followed here. I'm not taking any chances, Louis. Not even with you.
Shall we drop the papers, or is a handshake good enough?
Certainly not good enough, but since I'm in a hurry, it's going to have to do. All right, here's the deal. Sam's always gotten 25% of the profits, and that still goes.
I happen to know he only gets 10, but he's worth 25.
And Carl, Abdul, and Sasha all stay with the place or I don't sell.
Of course they stay. Ricks wouldn't be Ricks without them.
Well, I guess that's about it then. Oh, and remember, you owe Rick's 100 cartons of American cigarettes.
I shall remember to pay it to myself.
You're late.
Oh, no. I was informed just as Laszlo was about to leave the hotel, so I knew that I would be on time.
I thought I told you to call off your watchdog.
Do not worry. You will not be followed here.
All right.
You know, Rick, this place will never be the same without you.
I know what you mean, but I already spoke to Ferrari. You'll still win a roulette.
Everything ready?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, I have to ask you. The letters of transit. When we destroyed this place, where were they?
You ready for the shock of your life? The entire time, they've been sitting here in Sam's piano.
Serves me right for not being musical.
Say so. If they're here, you better wait in the other room.
Victor thinks I'm leaving with them. Haven't you told her?
No, not yet.
But everything's arranged, it's okay?
Yes, everything's quite all right. Trust me, won't you?
Yes.
Rick, I don't know how to thank you.
I'd say, but there's still plenty of stuff to be done.
The money.
Never mind. Keep it. You'll need it in America.
But we had a deal.
Never mind about that. You won't have any trouble in Lisbon, will you?
No, it's all arranged.
All right, well then I guess that's about it. Here are these. All you have to do is fill in the signatures.
Thank you.
Victor Laszlo! Victor Laszlo, you are under arrest on charge of accessory to the murder of the couriers from whom those letters were stolen. Oh, you are surprised about my friend Ricky? The explanation is quite simple. Love, it seems, has triumphed over virtue. Thank you, Rick.
Sorry, Louis. Nobody's going to be arrested. Not for a while yet.
Have you taken leave of your senses?
I have. Now go in my office and sit down.
Put the gun down.
Louis, I wouldn't like to shoot you, but I will if you take one more step.
Under the circumstances, I will sit.
All right, Louis. Hey, keep your hands on the table.
I suppose you know what you are doing, but I wonder if you know what this means.
I do. We can discuss that later. Look, what I want you to do is call the airport and let me hear you tell them that everything's quite all right.
Call up your watchdogs, you said.
All the same, you call them, let me hear you tell them. And remember, Louis, this gun is pointed straight at your heart.
That is my least vulnerable spot. Hello? Is it a radio tower? This is Captain Renault speaking. There will be 2 letters of transit on the Lisbon plane. There will be no trouble about them. Good.
Merci beaucoup.
Visibility 1 in 100. Light ground fog. Depth of fog approximately 500. Ceiling unlimited. Thank you.
Louis, why don't you have your man here go with Mr. Laszlo and help him put his luggage on the plane?
Certainly, Rick. Anything that you say. Find Mr. Laszlo's luggage and put it on the plane.
Yes, sir. This way, please.
And Louis, if it's all the same, why don't you take these and fill in the signatures? That'll make it all the more official.
You think of everything, don't you, Rick?
I tried. And the names to fill in are Mr. and Mrs. Victor Laszlo.
Why my name?
Because you're getting on that plane. Look, last night you said a great many things, and one of which you told me that I was going to have to do the thinking for both of us, for all of us. Well, I've done a lot of it since then, and all adds up to just one thing. You getting on that plane with Victor where you belong. Look, deep down inside it, we both know that you're part of his work, the thing that keeps you going. If that plane leaves the ground and you're not on it, or you're not with him, you'll regret it.
No.
Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon and for the rest of your life. Look, I'm no good at being noble, but it doesn't take much to see that the lives of three insignificant people don't amount to a hill of beans in this crazy world. And I've got a job to do too, you know? And what I'm about to do, you can't be any part of. And where I'm going, you can't follow. 9 chances out of 10, we both wind up in a concentration camp. Isn't that right, Louis?
Oh, but I'm afraid Monsieur Saucer would insist.
You're only saying this to make me go.
No, Elsa, I'm saying it because it's true. Look, you're part of his work, the thing that keeps Laszlo going. And, well, he needs you. Here's liquid too,
Is everything in order?
Yeah, all except for one thing.
Monsieur Blake, I don't ask you to explain anything.
Well, I'm going to anyway. It might make a difference to you later on. You said you knew about Elsa and me.
Yes.
But what you didn't know is that she was at my place last night when you were. She came there for the letters of transit. Isn't that true, Elsa?
Yeah.
She tried everything to get them from me. When she found out that money couldn't persuade me, she thought a gun would. When that didn't work, she tried her best to convince me that she was still in love with me. For your sake, she pretended that she was still in love with me, and I let her pretend. But we couldn't even fool ourselves. That was all over a long time ago.
I understand.
Yeah, well, I guess that's about it. Here you are.
Thank you so much, Rick. And welcome back to the fight. This time, I know our side will win.
Yeah, well, you'd best be getting on that plane.
Are you ready to go, dear?
Goodbye, Rick. God bless you.
I was right! You are a great sentimentalist!
Stay where you are. I don't know what you're talking about.
What you just did for Laszlo? That little fairy tale that you invented to send Ilsa away with him? Now, I know a little about women, my friend. She went, but she knew you were alive.
Maybe. Well, thanks all the same for the help.
I suppose you know that this is not going to end well for either of us. I'm going to have to arrest you, of course.
As soon as the plane goes, Louis, as soon as the plane goes.
What does it mean, that phone call? No questions? What does it mean? Victor Laszlo is going to be on that plane. Why do you stand here? Why don't you stop him? Ask Monsieur Rick.
I'd advise you not to get involved, Major.
I would advise that you do not interfere, Rick.
Don't try to go for that phone. Don't try it, pal.